Most people won't make it to the end of this video, not because it's too long, not because it's boring, because deep down, they're not ready to hear the truth. Only 1% will stay. Because only 1% are built different. You click this video for a reason. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you're tired of starting and stopping. Maybe a part of you knows you were made for something greater, but you've been drifting, waiting, hesitating. What you hear in the next few minutes might offend you, challenge you, and definitely wake you up. But if you're still here when we finish, you won't be the same. Main script: clear, engaging, motivational. Let's get one thing straight. The odds are stacked against you. Most people quit. They quit on their goals, they quit on their habits, they quit on themselves. It's not because they're weak or stupid. It's because they've been programmed to chase comfort and avoid pain. And here's what they don't teach you in school, at work, or in life. Everything worth having lives on the other side of pain. You want success? You want peace? You want to build a life that most people only dream about? Then you need to become someone most people aren't willing to be. You know what separates the top 1% from the other 99? It's not talent, it's not money, it's not connections, it's endurance. It's the ability to keep going when nothing makes sense, to keep pushing when no one's clapping, to keep working when the results are invisible. The world rewards consistency, not bursts of motivation, not hype. Consistency. Most people chase excitement. The 1% chase purpose. Most people want quick results. The 1% build foundations. Most people give up when it gets tough. The 1% get tougher. Here's the truth. You're not failing because you're not good enough. You're failing because you stop every time it gets hard. Every time you say, I'll try again next week. Every time you say, I'm just not motivated right now. Every time you say, maybe this just isn't for me. You're reinforcing the pattern that keeps you stuck. You don't need more motivation. You need to stop negotiating with yourself. Think about it. How many times have you said you'd start working out? How many times have you said you'd wake up early, start that business, fix your finances, learn that new skill? And yet, here you are, still starting over, still getting ready, still telling yourself that someday it'll happen. But let me be real with you. Someday is a myth. The people who win, they don't wait for someday. They start today. Even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient. That's what the 1% do. They stop making excuses and start making moves. You know why most people will never change? Because change costs something. It costs time, it costs energy, it costs relationships, it costs comfort. And most people aren't willing to pay. They want transformation without sacrifice. They want new results with old habits. They want growth without letting go of the version of themselves that's been holding them back. But the truth is brutal. You can become the person you were meant to be while holding on to the person you've always been. The 1%, they embrace the pain of transformation. They trade comfort for clarity. They choose growth over fitting in. Let's talk about discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It's not about grinding yourself into the ground. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from chaos. Freedom from regret. Freedom from being controlled by emotion and impulse. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of creating it. The 1% take control. They don't hit snooze. They don't scroll endlessly. They don't binge their time away. They build systems. They respect their time. They honor their commitments, even when no one's watching. You want to know how to tell if someone's going to succeed? Watch what they do when no one's clapping. Are they still showing up when the views are low, when the results are slow, when the motivation is gone? Because that's where greatness is built. In the silence, the gym when it's empty, the business when it's just starting, the journal no one reads, the cold mornings, the late nights, the reps, the study, the discipline. The world sees the globe. The 1% endure the grind. Here's what's wild. The 1% don't have fewer fears. They just refuse to let fear drive. Fear is a liar. Fear says you're not ready. Fear says you might fail. Fear says, what will they think? The 99%. Listen, the 1% take action anyway. They do it scared. They do it unsure. They do it when no one believes in them, not even themselves. That's how courage is built. Not in the absence of fear, but in defiance of it. Now let us address the biggest excuse of all. I, Dan T, have time. You do. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. It's not a time problem, it's a priority problem. The 1% don't find time, they make time. They cut the noise. They say no to distractions. They schedule their goals like appointments. And they show up. Not because it's easy, but because it matters. The truth is, your future is hiding in your daily routine. If you want a different life, you need different habits. Still with me? And maybe you are part of the 1%. Because here's the final truth. This journey is not easy, but it's worth it. The 99% will keep chasing shortcuts, motivation, and comfort. The 1%, they'll build something real. They'll change their family tree. They'll leave a legacy. They'll die empty, knowing they gave everything. The world will always try to convince you to shrink, to play safe, to quit. But your job is to keep showing up, to bet on yourself, to endure, to evolve, to stay locked in while the world loses focus. Final words, you want to change your life? Do not wait. Oh, do not quit. Do not settle. You were not made to be average. We're not made to start and stop. You were not made to live someone else's version of good enough. You were made for greatness. But you have to choose it. Every single day, this is your moment. Not next week, not next month. Now, the 99% already clicked off. But you're still here. That says everything. Welcome to the 1%.